Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will turn the pages of The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, written by C.S. Lewis and published in 1952, is the third book in the Chronicles of Narnia by publication order and fifth in chronological order. This enchanting fantasy novel follows Edmund and Lucy Pevensie, along with their cousin Eustace Scrubb, as they return to Narnia and embark on a seafaring adventure aboard the Dawn Treader. With King Caspian and the valiant mouse Reepicheep, they sail to the eastern seas, encountering magical islands, strange creatures, and testing quests, culminating in a spiritual journey toward Aslan's country. Plot summary. There was once a painting in Lucy and Edmund Pevensie's room that showed a magnificent ship on the sea. The painting seemed alive, the ship gliding forward with its dragon-headed prow, purple sail, and gilded sides gleaming in the sun. As they stared at it with growing fascination, their cousin Eustace Scrubb, who had no patience for their tales of Narnia, mocked them. But the painting came to life. Waves surged out, pulling all three into a world they had longed to see again. They found themselves aboard the Dawn Treader, King Caspian's ship, on a voyage to the eastern seas. Caspian greeted them warmly, joined by the noble talking mouse, Reepicheep, whose dream was to find Aslan's country at the world's edge. The ship's crew welcomed Lucy and Edmund, but Eustace, overwhelmed by seasickness and his own selfishness, complained bitterly. As the ship journeyed onward, Caspian revealed the purpose of their voyage: to find the 7 lost lords of Narnia who had been exiled during the reign of his tyrannical uncle Murez. Their first destination was the Lone Islands, a Narnian outpost that had fallen into corruption. Upon reaching the shores, they discovered the island was infested with slave traders. The travelers were captured, tied up, and sent to market. Caspian was purchased by a man named Lord Byrne, who was secretly one of the 7 lost lords. Byrne, recognizing Caspian, allied with him to overthrow the island's corrupt governor and abolish slavery. With the crew of the Dawn Treader at their side, they restored Narnian order to the islands, leaving them free and prosperous. The ship sailed on. A mighty storm arose, battering the vessel for days and leaving the crew weary. They landed on an uninhabited island to make repairs and rest. Eustace, ever selfish, wandered off in search of solitude, but stumbled into a dragon's cave. Greedily pocketing the dragon's treasure, he was cursed and transformed into a dragon himself. His monstrous form made him realize the depth of his folly and selfishness. With the guidance of Aslan, he was freed from his curse, not only regaining his human shape, but also becoming kinder and more courageous. The Dawn Treader next came to an island inhabited by invisible beings called the Dufflepuds. These comical creatures, ruled by a magician, had cursed themselves with invisibility. Lucy ventured into the magician's mansion to read a spell to restore their forms. While there, she encountered a magical book filled with powerful enchantments and visions, including a fleeting glimpse of Aslan. With his encouragement, she read the right spell, bringing the Dufflepuds back to visibility. The magician, who was no true villain, explained that their fear and misunderstanding had led to their condition. Sailing ever eastward, the crew arrived at the Dark Island, a place where nightmares came to life. The very air seemed to seep terror, and the sea itself was an inky blackness. As they sought a way to escape, they found Lord Roop, one of the lost lords, maddened by years of living amidst his fears. It was Aslan's light that guided the ship away, breaking the spell of the island and bringing them safely back to daylight. At the next stop, the travelers encountered 3 sleeping men at a grand table laden with food. They were the remaining lords, enchanted into eternal slumber. A glowing woman appeared, explaining that the enchantment could only be broken if someone sailed to the world's edge and left behind all that they held dear. Reepicheep, filled with unshakable resolve, declared that this was his destiny. The Dawn Treader continued, entering waters of increasing wonder and beauty. The sea became clear as crystal, and the light grew softer and purer with every league. They passed through a field of lilies that stretched as far as the eye could see, and the air grew sweeter, filling the travelers with a sense of peace and awe. The end of the world seemed near. Reepicheep took his small caracal and, with joyful determination, paddled into the unknown toward Aslan's country, never looking back. The crew watched him go, hearts full of both sorrow and hope. Aslan appeared to Lucy, Edmund, and Eustace, telling them their time in Narnia was over. He gently explained that they must return to their own world, but that the lessons they learned in Narnia would guide them in life. With heavy hearts, the children bid farewell to Caspian and the Dawn Treader. A great wave rose, carrying them back through their magical journey and depositing them back in their home, where the painting of the ship now hung lifeless on the wall, its adventures over. That's it for today, but if you're craving more, dive into the rest of Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. The details are in the description, or just search on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in C.S. Lewis's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.